Thank you for coming on into the channel. This is a Apex 3.0 payout process video. As you can see here, the account P&L is up to 6,600, which is 100 over the safety net for the trailing threshold for the 250K account. We're going to try to make a payout. This is part 1 of 3. So the part 2 will be making the request itself. Thank you. Okay, this is part 2 and 3 of the Apex 3.0 payout process video. And as you can see here, the payout did go through. They took the money, they reviewed the account trading for a single day and took the money out within that same day after approval. And the payment went through, as you can see, on the 11th. So it was just the weekend to wait 3 days, as they say, to get paid. So let's go over some of the rule structures, the changes that to look out for. It's pretty understandable in their support article if you just look out 3.0 payout trading rules. Generally, you have these 8 trading days that you need to take. This is slightly more than Top Step, but they're a minimum amount you need is only $50 or more, whereas Top Step needs $200 or more. So if you get above the threshold, you can basically punt some micros and take payouts on a safer schedule than needing to get 200 each time. The one thing that also needs to be you need to be aware of is a safety net rule. In previous times, you could eat into the drawdown after going above the threshold. For example, on a 250K, you could get to $6,600 in profit and then eat 3,000 as a payout. You can take a payout of 3,000 up to 3,000, and then it would go into your drawdown, your trailing drawdown by $3,000, forcing you to take a hit on your drawdown. Now you need to take a minimum of 500, which is why we took 500 for the first payout, just to test it. So the minimum payout you have to keep is at least $500, even if that exceeds the safety amount. So once we get over this, which we're already over it currently as we make the video, we can start making a heftier payout. So basically, one other thing you need to be aware of is the consistency rule. You can't make more than 30% on a single trade or day. So you have to be aware of how much you're making each day. And then also, if we go to the DCA is now allowed, but you have to look at that in terms of the contract sizing, consistency, and risk management. I didn't really mess with contract size, consistency, or DCA too much, even though I knew they had allowed it. I just didn't even want to take a risk. So on this approval, I didn't DCA at all. I did let it hit my stop and maybe re-enter at a better location, and then I did switch between 2 contracts and 4. So I was going between 2 and 4 contracts, and that was my one thing that I was worried about, was their contract size consistency rule here, which says that you need to be careful of erratic spikes or inconsistent changes, like trading 10 contracts one day and 2 the next. That was what I was worried about. I never really went that massive, so I went from 2 to 4. So if you're in a general vicinity, and I also was worried about some days I traded micros, 3 micros, and then 2 minis. So how do they look at different assets? I was worried about that, but they approved it. So the negative P&L rule, this is one thing that most people might get hemmed up about. This is you should not let 30% negative drawdown from the account balance. For example, if you have $4,000, you cannot take $1,200 in drawdown. So I have a pretty set ATM strategy where it's a set number per trade. So either I take the hit or I get paid. So I think this is what this is meant to install, which is a
acceptance of loss and not to let the drawdown get your account. So that is actually installing a good trading mentality, if you will. So I don't see this as a bad thing. You shouldn't be letting it go beyond this on one trade anyway, your 30% negative rule. So let it hit your stop, basically. Just let it hit your stop and reassess. So thank you to Apex, and we're already on day 3 of another 8-day payout cycle. We're well above the safety net, so we'll see how we can do that next time. So thanks to Apex, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.